What's up, guys? It's a Sports Blitz here, and we're back with our NFL Week 9 power rankings. Before I get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We recently hit 1,500 subscribers, so if we could keep that going, that'd be awesome. To start this off, I'm going to go ahead and keep the Panthers here at 32. They got beat pretty bad again this week, and they just traded away their best weapon in Deontay Johnson. And they got like nothing back. It was really stupid move. Don't know what the Panthers are thinking there. Like, at least try to get, something something in exchange for him. But they didn't. So 31, I am going to go ahead and keep the Raiders there as well. They did lose to the Chiefs. I've been kind of debating on putting the Titans here instead. They are going to be the ones that go to number 30. If it'll move properly. There we go. They're going to be at 30. I thought about putting them at 31 here. But I thought that there were a few things that the Titans did all right against the Lions. I know the Raiders also played the Chiefs, so they both played elite teams. But I mean, I don't really see a way that you really move the Raiders up for that performance, just because the Titans did really bad too. So I'm going to keep the Titans there at 30. They got absolutely walloped by the Lions. So, yeah, bad game. So then here at 29, I'm going to put the Saints. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, I mean, the Saints are on a 6-game losing streak. They're just looking atrocious. Like, ever since that first 2 wins against the Panthers and the Cowboys, the Saints have been atrocious. And I realize that Derek Carr has been injured. But the defense hasn't looked the same either. Defense hasn't looked the same. Rashid Shaheed's out for the year, so that takes away a massive, deep ball guy. I mean, obviously still got Kamara and Olave, but I don't know. They're just not looking like a good team right now. So 28, I'm going to have the New York Giants. Yeah, they looked bad. I'm sure most of you guys saw that really bad 2-point conversion attempt on Monday Night Football against the Steelers. That was, I don't know what they were going for there. That was the worst trick play attempt I've seen in a long time. I know they were trying to imitate, I think it was the Colts that did it a long time ago. I want to say like 10, 11 years ago, if I remember right. I think it was the Colts that did that. But nobody looked ready for the snap. It's like Daniel Jones had them snap the ball too early or something. I don't know. But it was atrocious. Giants are kind of a mess right now. So, 27, I'll go ahead and have the Patriots here. Or you know what? Actually, sorry, I'm actually going to have the Jets here at 27. They are a mess. Didn't expect the Jets to be this bad. I really didn't. Especially after the Devontae Adams trade. I thought their offense would be looking a lot better. I thought their defense would look a lot better with, getting Hassan Reddick in there now. It really hasn't gotten better. I mean, they allowed, I think it was 25 points to the Patriots. To the Patriots? I mean, awful performance by the Jets. They've been looking atrocious lately. Just the week before, they allowed 37 points to the Steelers. Their defense is not what we expected them to be. I think Robert Saleh got fired unfairly. He was not the issue there. I'm not saying he was an amazing head coach, but he was not the main issue there. So they kind of scapegoated him, making him seem like, he was the real issue. So, yeah, I got Jets there at 27. Patriots, I do have at 26. This is a four spot move up after beating the Jets. Drake May has been looking pretty solid. He did get hurt this game. I haven't heard anything back on that injury. I don't know if he's going to miss time or if he'll be back in this week. He's been looking pretty solid, but even after the injury, Jacoby Brissett came back in and, won the game for the Patriots. So, yeah, they got a win against a divisional rival. So, big for them. Then I'm gonna go ahead and have the. I think I'm gonna have the Jags here. They put up a decent fight against the Packers. Though a good portion of the game was with Malik Willis instead of Jordan Love, and they still let Josh Jacobs run all over them. They still let Malik Willis, make the throws he needed to make. They just didn't look great. And that's kind of been the story for the Jags. I think even during games that they have, a better looking offense, their defense still doesn't perform. So, yeah, Jags aren't looking too great there. I do have the Browns here at 24. I know this is a really, really big jump this week for them, but Jameis Winston looked good. I know there were at least 2 plays there that I actually saw that the Ravens defender very clearly should have caught. One of them actually would have sealed the game in favor of the Ravens, but he dropped it. I think that was the Kyle Hamilton one. So you could argue kind of a lucky win, but their offense did look a lot better. They're starting to get Nick Chubb a little bit better acclimated. He got 16 carries this game instead, so they're going to work him into the offense a little bit more. Their wide receivers are relevant again. They weren't doing literally anything with Deshaun Watson, and now that it's Jameis Winston instead, I mean, those wide receivers are eating. So it's good to see over there. At 23, I think we're going to do the Colts here at 23. The Colts here at 23. Anthony Richardson got benched. He's making a couple absolutely crazy throws here and there, but then he'll make several just absolutely atrocious throws. Like it really has you scratching your head, wondering what the heck he's doing. So Yeah, I think it's fair that Richardson got benched. Maybe he needs to sit back a little bit and kind of watch the game from the side. I think that actually I think that actually worked out well for, you know, Bryce Young and the Panthers. I thought Bryce came out and played a lot better than he did the first 2 weeks. I think he looked more confident, was making better throws. I know he didn't light up the stat sheet, but once Dave Canales actually let him, throw past the line of scrimmage, he was making some good throws. And he looked better. So I think Richardson being benched could be good for him in that way as well. Kind of sit behind Flacco and just watch the game from a different perspective and learn that way. I think a lot of young quarterbacks are being thrown into the game too early, and it's hurting them. So, yeah, Colts there at 23. At 22, I'm going to have the Dolphins. I know this is technically a move up from last week, but I thought given how some of the teams ahead of them did this week, I think it's pretty fair. I think the Dolphins' offense looked a lot better with Tua this week. Tyreek Hill had some production. Jalen Waddle had some production. Jonnu Smith had some production. I want to say Achan actually had a really big game. And really, this came down to a game-winning field goal for the Cardinals. It is a little concerning, though, that, once the Dolphins' offense finally started figuring it out, well, sorry, once Tua came back to boost their offense a little bit, their defense started to fall behind a little bit, because last few weeks, the Dolphins' defense has been really good. They weren't so great this game. I thought Marvin Harrison kind of exposed Jalen Ramsey a little bit, which hasn't happened a lot this year. Ramsey's been really good this year, but Marvin Harrison kind of got the best of him on a couple of the crossers. So I think 22 is a pretty solid spot for the Dolphins right now. I have confidence in them going forward. I think they can still win a few more games and, become at least like an average level team. So I'm going to keep them at 22. At 21, I got to make a decision here. Because I know this is up a couple spots for the Chargers. But I'm trying to decide if I want to put either the Bengals this low or the Cowboys down here instead and move the Chargers up to the next tier. I'm a little torn. Cowboys, I do think they played a pretty solid team in the Niners. But the Niners lately have also kind of struggled. So I don't know. The Chargers really haven't looked all that incredible lately either. I mean, they played a really, really bad Saints team. Lad McConkey kind of went off this week. I think I'll go ahead and have the Chargers here. This is still, up by 2 spots this week. I think they're just a little bit too inconsistent for my liking. And even in the games that they have won, they haven't really, dominated, they've been games that the offense has looked decent enough, and the defense looked really good. I'd like to see a game from the Chargers that their offense just balls out. So, yeah. So going up to number 20, gonna put the Cowboys here, down one spot. Like I said, I debated putting them at 21 instead. Um, I think it was a little bit too early to put them below the Chargers because, like I said, the Chargers played a really, really bad Saints team, and the Cowboys played a pretty solid 49ers team. Um, and I know that the Niners have been riddled with injuries too. I mean, Jordan Mason got hurt again this game. Brandon Ayuk is out for the season. I mean, they have had injury issues. But the Cowboys haven't looked real great. CeeDee Lamb kind of had a massive, dominant game this week, but still wasn't enough to win. So I'll have the Cowboys here at 20. At number 19, gonna have the Bengals. Drop them 2 spots. Honestly, I wanted to drop them more. I wanted to also have them in that 21 to 26 range, tier below, but I didn't think I was ready to put them below the Chargers or anything yet. So, yeah. Got the Bengals here at 19. Their defense is just not good. It's pretty bad. Like, even during games that their offense kind of goes crazy, their defense is just awful. Like, if you take out the Panthers, the Bengals probably have the second worst defense. So, yeah. But very, very bad performance for the Bengals against the Eagles. Number 18, I've got the Seahawks here. They got absolutely blown out by the Bills. Really, really, I think the one touchdown that the Seahawks did get, it was kind of a garbage time sort of thing where I want to say it was pretty late into the fourth quarter, and they just, it was too little too late. It felt like a garbage time thing where the Bills were already kind of like, yeah, we have this game won. Like, nothing they can do is going to let them come back, It kind of felt like that sort of situation. So, really bad week for the Seahawks. I know DK Metcalf was out this game, and it showed. It definitely showed. That offense runs through DK Metcalf, and when he's not there, it just doesn't look as good. So, I think at number 17, I think I am gonna go ahead and have the Rams here at 17. I wanted to have them higher because Kupp and Puka are both back, and they had a really good win on Thursday Night Football against the Vikings. I know they got away with a face mask there at the end. I've got my own opinions on that. I don't really need to get into that. But at the end of the day, the Rams did win. They looked like a much improved offense, really much improved team altogether with Kupp and Puka back. Like I said, I want to move them higher, but I want to see them string a few good games, in a row before I move them to where I really think they could be. So, I think 17 is pretty fair. 16. Yeah, 16, I'll go ahead and have the Cardinals here. This is up, I think, 3 or 4 spots from last week. They got a good win over the Dolphins while Tua was back as well. Marvin Harrison looked good. He kind of bounced back. Him and Kyler were able to get their connection going again. Like I said earlier, Marvin Harrison kind of got the best of Jalen Ramsey on those crossers, and it just, yeah, he looked good. He looked good again. So, 15, I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only dropping them one spot this week because they still put up in my opinion, a pretty tough fight against the Falcons without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I think Baker Mayfield gave them chances in this game to win. Their defense couldn't really stop Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts kind of went off, kind of went berserk. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the Bucs should really fall more than one spot here, because they're still a good team, and they showed that even without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So then here at 14, I've got the Chicago Bears. They lost to Jaden Daniels and the Commanders in one of the craziest plays of the entire season so far. Might end up being the craziest play of the season. That Hail Mary that got tipped by Tyreek Stevenson while he was taunting the crowd. He tipped it to the Commanders receiver, Noah Brown, for the Commanders to win. Instant karma. Overall, Jaden Daniels looked like the better player in this game. I also think the Bears have the better defense, actually. So for him to look better there, I think that says a lot. Now, this isn't to bash Caleb Williams at all, alright? This is just to say how good Jaden Daniels really is. I think the Bears are still a very solid team. They're going to get some good wins this year, and they're going to be in the thick of it for playoffs. I think they've still got a solid shot at a playoff run. I really do. Which, again, says a lot with a rookie quarterback. So, yeah, only down one spot here for the Bears. Then at 13, I've got the Broncos here. I know a lot of people would honestly be mad and say I need to move the Broncos up higher. They beat the Panthers. I mean, they're the worst team in the league. By a pretty wide margin, too. When you're already this high in the power rankings, I don't see a way... Excuse me, guys. I'm still kind of recovering from being sick, if you can't tell. It's been a rough last few weeks. But, yeah. When you're this high up in the power rankings already, and you beat a team that bad, you're not going to go up by very many spots. That's just kind of how the power rankings work. So, at number 12... Yeah, we'll go ahead and have the Falcons here. This is up one spot from last week. I think the Falcons are another really good team that, honestly, I could see the Falcons winning the NFC South. I think they're going to be fighting with the Bucs all season for that spot, though. I mean, I think it's going to be a clearer path now, though, because Chris Godwin's out for the year, and Mike Evans will be gone until, I want to say, week 12, I think is when they projected him to come back. So, there's that. Falcons are a good team. I just don't know that I could really put them above any of these other teams right now. So, number 11, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and keep the 49ers here. I don't feel great about moving them above the Texans or Eagles or Steelers and so forth. I know they got a win. The Cowboys have been kind of suspect all season though, so it wasn't a crazy impressive win for me. It wasn't really one of those that, I looked at and was like, "Oh yeah, the 49ers are so back," sort of thing. I need to see them do that to more teams. They've been inconsistent. There's been times that their defense has been kind of suspect. Their offense just isn't the same without McCaffrey. So I'm going to keep the 49ers at 11. I'm also actually going to keep the Texans here at 10. I think this is a pretty fair spot for them. They barely beat the Colts. Like it was a really close game. Realistically, they should have beat them a lot worse than that, but they didn't. So I'm going to keep them here at 10. At number 9, I'm actually going to move the Ravens down here. Down 4 spots. They lost to the Browns. The Browns were a low-ranked team for me earlier on. They lost to the Browns with Jameis Winston. And Winston's a weird quarterback, man, in more ways than one. But, he got it done. He got it done against the Ravens. Ravens' defense has not been good this year. Losing Mike McDonald has done wonders negatively for the Ravens this season. Like, their defense has been not good at all. So, I've got the Ravens down here at number 9. So, this is down 4 spots. I am going to go ahead and have I think I'm actually going to have the Packers here at 8. I know they technically won their matchup this week, but I've got to be honest. Jordan Love didn't look great even while he was in before he got hurt this game. He was missing receivers. I know he threw at least one interception. I don't know if he threw more than one. I'd have to fact check myself on that. But he did throw at least one. And it was he only threw one interception, but it was pretty early on in the game too. And he didn't look, I don't know, just the Packers didn't look great, So I think down 2 spots, given how some of these other teams ahead of them have been, I think that's pretty fair. So at number 7, I'm going to have the Eagles here, up 2 spots, absolutely beat the brakes off the Bengals, completely destroyed them. They're really clicking on all cylinders. Sorry, they're firing on all cylinders here, if I can talk. They're clicking offensively, defensively. They're looking like a good team. So, yeah, Eagles here at number 7. Number 6, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've been kind of cooking with Russ. Russell Wilson has kind of been looking like what we saw in Seattle. his deep ball is still pretty. I mean, he had like three just beautiful deep passes against the Giants last night. At least three that I saw. Um, at least two of them were caught. One of them kind of went through Scotty Miller's hands. He probably should have caught that one. But yeah, Russell Wilson's been looking great, and that team, really that offense in general, has just looked so much better with Russell Wilson. I think they've been awesome. So, got the Steelers there at 6. We do have a new team entering the top 5 here. We do have the Commanders here at number 5. Jaden Daniels is impressive, man. I did not think coming into the season that Jaden Daniels was going to be so good. I thought their defense was going to be mediocre as well. They started off pretty bad. Their defense started off really not looking great at all. But they've kind of started to figure it out. They've been pretty solid the last few weeks. So, big props to the Commanders in the top 5 now. They're leading the NFC East right now. They're just looking like a really good team. So, at number 3, I'm going to go ahead and have the Vikings here. Only down one spot after losing to the Rams. I still think the Vikings are a really good team. I think they're going to continue to play really well. I think they're going to get more wins. They did trade for Cam Robinson earlier since losing Christian Darrisaw. I think that was a really solid and honestly really quick answer after losing a player like that. So you definitely gotta respect the front office for answering that quickly. They see the talent they have and know, hey, let's not let ourselves slip here. Let's patch that hole and keep this thing going. So, yeah, Vikings only down one spot. No real room to worry there. There's really not. So, number 3, we've got the Buffalo Bills. They absolutely destroyed the Seahawks. Really not much more to say about that. Yeah, they annihilated the Seahawks. Just didn't let them get anything going offensively. So, yeah, Bills there at number 3. At number 2, I'm going to do it. Kansas City Chiefs here at number 2. I know they're still undefeated, but I've got to admit, I think the Lions are the better team. I really do. The Lions have been lethal these last few weeks. And, I mean, it hasn't just been, like, close little, 2 or 3 point wins against mediocre teams. Like, they put up 50 on the Titans. They put up over 40 on the Cowboys. They beat the Vikings in that span. The Lions are just a better team, if you ask me. So, there you have it. Here are my power rankings for Week 9. Let me know what you think of these in the comment section below. Again, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.